slides or prepare. Something that we may have done or talked about, you're trying to implement, you'd love some help on that. The way I like to do that is to share it together so that we can all benefit from the help that we are giving. Yeah, here I got a couple of things here. These are the ones that I'm so far. Yeah, you've got 2 sets there. Yeah, no worries. So next week, ask me anything, 9 to 10:30. Come with your marketing questions. We'll share together to learn from each other, and you may pick up some new things from that support next week. And then the plan going forward into next year is that we'll have a once a month Tuesday morning with a marketing topic every month that you can come and attend. Free always, that's part of the agenda of level 2 to provide these trainings, and it's really part of my mission as well. I make my money helping people, but I absolutely love, because of my educational background, helping people get to where they need to be for free as well. So it works both ways. And so glad you're here. I want to do a quick intros around the room, just so you know who all's here, and maybe a chance to connect with somebody that would be good to connect with that you don't know. Lots I don't know in the room, so I'm glad for that as well. Who wants to start the ball rolling with introductions today? Just who you are and what your business is. Great, thank you.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Singh. I'm the Director of Communications and Marketing for the town of Plainfield.
Okay.
Happy to be here.
Great, thank you.
I'm Glenn Augustine. I'm the Digital Sales Director for Times Leader and Current Publications.
Okay. Great.
I'm Dave Browning, and I have my own IT consulting company.
Okay.
Christopher Porter, I'm a realtor with Century 21 Sheets.
Okay.
I'm Will Reno with Fairway and Mortgage Advisor.
Okay.
I'm John Malone, Director of Hope Healthcare Services. We're a medical dental clinic for people without insurance.
My name's Earl Brehan, one half of Leadership Phalanx, and we specialize in leadership training with a focus on diversity and inclusion efforts.
Great. And you're a startup. You haven't even actually begun delivering business per se.
That is 100% correct. I'm a couple months old, so yeah.
Yeah. Great. We'll jump with it.
I'm Krista Kramer. I work with the Nurse College Network.
Jill Hunter, Center Capital, Buffalo Train Company. I'm Lucky Lipsky. I'm marketing coordinator for Jackson Owens for Plainfield and 71st Street.
I'm Jennifer Labor. I am with Cruise Planners.
Michael Avery, Cruise Planners. We're also American Express Travel representatives and a full-service travel agency.
I'm Samantha Fontana. I'm the sales representative of Home Sweet Celebrate.
I'm Robin Law. I'm business development officer for Warren Putnam, Family
I'm Kelly Nash. I'm the communications coordinator at Support Services and Support Routine.
Okay. So we have a lot of different business. Oh, John. I've got John on there.
John Anderson, financial planner, and then I'm a board member of Level 2. We have 9 board members. I'm one of them.
You can find John here often.
Yes.
Thanks.
Oh wait,
Appreciate
one more.
it.
So if you have not been able to attend some of the previous, we do Facebook Lives, which we're doing right now, and then we cut them up into 15-minute videos, and then we have a YouTube channel with Level 2 that has all the videos on it. So we have all of Neil's great information packed up for you in 15 to 20-minute bits that you can go and view. So.
And I didn't even know it existed until yesterday. So there you go. Yeah, if you missed one of the sessions and you go listen there, if you want the slides to go with those or any of the other things, just reach out to me. I got business cards up here. You can grab those. We've got such a diverse group here today. We've got businesses in various stages, different types of relationships with customers or clients, for-profit, not-for-profit. So we've got a huge range here today, which is great because I've learned that you can learn so much from other business sectors. Sometimes you look at your own little world so much that you don't realize that there are some other great strategies being used out there by other businesses that would work great, or other organizations for yours as well. So I want you to think for a moment about the journey that we take as businesses, as business owners, as business development people, sales, all of those different capacities there. For those of you who don't know, didn't catch it so far, I've lived in America for nearly 29 years. I'm from Australia originally, and my accent was a lot thicker when I got here in 1990 than it is today. But I haven't been home to Australia for 13 years because of a variety of different things. I lived in LA. It was a lot closer when I lived in LA to get to Australia than it is here. Started my own business, trying to keep that going for many years. It was a weekly publication, so I had to be out on the street every week with my paper and getting that going. Made it really difficult to get to Australia. Recently, a little over 3 years ago, I got remarried, and my wife had never even left the country when we went on our honeymoon to Cancun. That was our first trip out of the country. So she's never met any of my family. My stepkids have never met any of my family. And my son was 3 when he last went to Australia, and he's going to be 16 shortly. So he doesn't remember any of them. So as I was thinking about timing and all that, I've got a stepdaughter who's a senior at Plainfield High School, and I was looking towards, I know many things are going to change schedule-wise and all of that next year. My wife and I decided to take the step and take everybody to Australia this year. And so in March 20, we're all boarding a plane along with my mother-in-law. So there's 6 of us who are heading to Australia on this trip. And I want to tell you this story because to me, this process is a lot like marketing, except that most of us don't look at it the same way. If I want to go to Australia in March, I can't wake up on March 19th and say, you know what, I think we'll all go to Australia tomorrow. The flights will be crazy expensive, if even available. There's lots of things that have to be planned out. There's school, missing school, and so many different things. Yet alone, on the other end, my family has to be available as well and plan for the fact that we're coming. We don't just wake up and do that. Yet when it comes to marketing, I think all too often we fall into the habit of doing that very trick. Something hits us, all of a sudden we've lost some clients, and now we've got to go back out and find some, and we're scrambling at the wrong time. We're looking when it's too late. We're planning when it's too late. And so I really want you to think of this as a roadmap today. All right. I really want you to think about this in terms of a roadmap type of an illustration, because I find that's the best way to help you think through it. This is not a straitjacket. This is not something that as you put a plan together you're stuck with and that's it forever going forward. But the idea is that you're preparing a journey down this road. Now, when you take those journeys, they're not always exactly like you planned. Right? We're going to leave in March, mid-March. What are the chances that it could be a little icy and have some issues here in Indy around that time? What do you think? What about a 20% chance, 30, 40? It's possible, right? We may have to delay. Which, if that happens, there's going to be a domino effect. I've got about 4 or 5 hours in LA before we fly to Australia. And then I've got about 4 hours in Melbourne before we fly to Perth. I have about 40 hours of travel ahead of me. Then when I do get to Perth, I have to go and rent a van for our crew. And then I have to remember how to drive on the left-hand side of the road again through a big city. So, I've got all sorts of things that potentially could get in the way here. But still, I've got a plan. And that's how I want you to look at the marketing that we talk about today. We're making a plan. Things may come along in the journey that we have to make some tweaks and adjustments and change some things out. But I believe with a plan looking forward, you'll be able to get so much further anyway. So, quick little overview on what I've got here. This is the one-page marketing plan that I help people implement. So this is what we're going to look at here today, and my goal is for you to leave here today with this completed. And I'm going to give you some supplemental work as well here, or some more information to go with it. But the goal is that you can look at this, refer back to it. If any of you would like a digital copy of it, Word version, I can send those out to you. You can add that to the review sheet there, the feedback sheet. Just add that I'd like the files emailed to me, the Word files, and I'll email those to you. But as we look at this journey here, I want to talk you through the pieces of this, and then let you do some working and talking, and then let's share together to try to help you where you may get stuck. There are 9 components to this model, and some of these, there's a couple of ways to look at it. You can do an overall strategy for your business, or you can take one of these papers, and I've got extras here, and you can look at it as different lines of business with different strategies. Different focus could have a completely different strategy than another one. So it's up to you, but this is the basic framework that I want to talk you through and share with you here. So the first of these is the before phase. There are 3 phases: before, during, and after. And so if you look at marketing in those terms, you're trying to build some strategies in each of those areas so that you can be prepared no matter what, and you have a plan no matter what. So as we look at, first of all, before here, I'm going to talk it through and then give you some ideas. Let me ask you, would you prefer to stop after 3 and work on it, and then come back to the next 3, so it's not too much? Some of you know your head because you know that I like to give you too much stuff, right? So maybe we'll do that then, is do 3, stop, and then I've got a handout for you, and then we'll come back into the next. So the before, this stage is all about for people to get to know you. We're going to talk about know, like, and trust. This is the know phase. They didn't know you, they don't know you existed, but they do now. So now we've got to plan some things for that particular side of things. So the first thing you have to do there is to select your target market. And I'm going to suggest to you that you need to probably have 5 characteristics at a minimum that you're looking for on what characteristics indicate your target market. I've got a paper I'll give you out here after we go through these 3 that will help you in that process. 5 characteristics that make them unique, and the more the better. Because there's nobody in this room who can say, my target is everybody. Because I can probably find people who don't fit it on one thing. Yes?
So my concern with the town is we have different messages, right? So
Yep.
we want to reach the residents, but we also want to reach the greater Indiana region.
Yeah.
So do I need separate papers?
I would recommend yes, because your target is very different.
Right.
If the targets are close, you can definitely incorporate it as one message. So for today's purpose, you can go one of 2 paths. Work on the different markets, 2 or 3, or pick one today, work through that one, pick up some of the extra sheets, or I'll email you those, and then you can take and work through those as well.
Okay.
But yes, I would say you're looking for the commonalities. In fact, this next slide here really is, to me, is what this is all about. In a sea of people, could you identify, if you had the information on them, could you identify who you're trying to talk to? All right? So, residents in the town of Plainfield, very clear. If I'm a resident, I am a resident in Canby. I'm Hendricks County, but I'm Canby. I'm not a target for that messaging.
Right.
But if I live in Plainfield, I'm a target for that messaging. So in that case, you're talking primarily about a geographic piece of data there. And then there's probably some other factors that come into it. But this is what you want to arrive at with that. small fish in a big pond. So in other words, how can you find this right collection of people that you truly identify with as that target audience? And you can easily say, and I'll give you this on a sheet of paper here in a little bit, but here's some of the things that you can be drawing on. What age are they? Are they male or female predominantly? Marital status, is that a factor? Do they have children? What sort of income level do they have? What sort of education have they had? Especially if you're going, national, international with what you're doing, is there a particular region that they're from that would be more advantageous to you? What are their hobbies? What do they value? And then I would even go so far as to say, what are their pain points? What is it that they're struggling with that you can help meet a need on? That's a really important one to identify with all of them. Because as I listen to everyone describe, name their business and that sort of thing, or their organization that they're with, there are various different pain points that can come into play. And so you've got to make use of those in your messaging. Here's a question that you've got to answer in this section, I think, as well. Why me and not a competitor? Why me? Again, as I look around the room, majority of you have a lot of competition to fight against. Some of you don't so much, given the nature of your organization. But with all the competition that's out there, why choose me? And that is about coming up with a unique selling proposition. And there's a great formula for that, which I've got here on a paper, which I can help you talk through as well. Then I want you to know, what are the common objections for doing business with me? Given all the choices, why would people not choose me? And then I would ask the question of you too, who is not your target customer? Who is not? Well, because identifying that will really help you to zero in on who is. Because usually, I remember when I first started networking in 2006, I wasn't used to that. And people would come and ask me, who I was looking for and all that sort of thing. And I would just say, look, anybody. I'll be happy to talk to anybody about what I've got. I was selling advertising in a community newspaper. So somebody asked me, well, I've got a business in Carmel. Can we talk? And I'm like, well, actually no, because I do Brownsburg to Mooresville, which is what I was doing initially. So Carmel's probably not helpful. So I was already eliminated. Well, I don't have a business. Oh yeah, we can't talk either. And so as we got down to it, I realized very quickly there were some very specific criteria of who I was looking for. I just didn't realize it. So you've got to think about that first of all, and you've got to look and say, who is my target market then? Who really is it? And that's what I loved, what I presented last week for those who were here on Facebook advertising for selecting that, is by putting it out to a wide market who you think potentially could fit, people's actions will begin to tell you who really is the best fit. I shared some results last week from one of my clients' advertising campaigns, and they are very clearly female focused, ages 45 and up. So we would waste our energy trying to sell their product to men who are in their 20s. We know that. So let's not try to go down that road until such a time as we have exhausted that other, and we're going to come back with some more messaging. Okay, so that's your target market first of all. That's the first box to fill in on your marketing plan there. And like I said, I'd like you to come up with like 3 to 5 characteristics that define who you're looking for with all of that. And if you're struggling when we work on this here, I'll come around and